Man, I quit. I'm injured.
He was injured. Injured bad.
In life, whether you're training or not, injuries are going to happen. And in training, the question often becomes for a lot of people, as soon as an injury happens, should I keep training? You know, I got an injury, I tweaked my back or a knee or a hamstring or something like that on my first set of squats. Should I continue squatting or should I just shut it down for the day and go home? Or maybe I'm finished with my squats, but my back is kind of tightening up. Maybe I should just, shut down the deadlift. I'm not going to do the deadlift. I'll just go home, I'll rest, and we'll see how things go. Let me encourage you to never ask yourself the question, should I train? Or at least rarely ask yourself that question. Instead, ask yourself first the question, how can I train? For example, if I break my right arm, I've got 3 other limbs, my left arm, my 2 legs, that are perfectly trainable. You all know that boy or that girl in grade school or high school. You remember this kid who broke his right arm, couldn't shoot in basketball, so he taught himself during the break from basketball, he actually taught himself how to shoot left-handed. It actually came back a more skilled basketball player because of it. That girl who broke her right arm playing volleyball, or not playing volleyball, but she's a volleyball player, and she comes back and she taught herself how to hit left-handed, all right? So she comes back a better volleyball player. Be that kid. Ask yourself the question always, how can I train? You're gonna come back a better lifter as a result, more durable in the long run. You're gonna have a more consistent training history. There's a great article written by John Petrizzo. We'll link to that article below. He's a starting strength coach. He's also a physical therapist. And in there it talks about training through injuries. So a couple thoughts. Number one, if the pain is tolerable to you to begin with and you can train with it, then ask yourself the question, as I warm up, is the pain either staying the same or is it actually getting better? That would be ideal. But even if it's staying the same, as long as you can tolerate it, then generally speaking, you can train. If it's not getting worse, that's a great sign. We don't want the pain to get worse. However, if the pain actually is getting worse as you're warming up, then that's a sign that we probably need to change some things. 3 major tools that you have at your disposal are, number 1, load. Can you adjust the load? In other words, can you take down the weight on the bar to a point that is manageable, that is tolerable, that is not aggravating the situation? And then, session by session, you can make improvements from there. If that's not working, you can use, and this is not in a particular order, you can use tempo. Can you slow down the lift? We've got a video on tempo squats. We'll link to that below. Can you do, let's talking about the squat, can you do a 3-second descent, a 1-second pause at the bottom, 2 seconds on the way back up? Going slower is gonna mean you're gonna have to adjust the load as well, but can you find a tempo that allows you to train productively and not aggravate the issue? Can you adjust the third tool, range of motion? So let's say we're talking about a deadlift. Maybe I can't pull from the floor, but maybe I can do a rack pull. Maybe I can pull from a higher position, or if we're talking about the bench press, maybe I can bench from a higher position like a pin bench and find a position that's not aggravating it, and then over time, increase the range of motion. Remember, the simple approach is, that's Parker making the platform wobble there, simple approach is ask yourself the question, how can I train? And then you can take it from there. This is not intended to be the sales pitch for Testify, but if you need some help working through an issue, reach out to us. We'd love you to help other great people, awesome resources, our starting strength coaches, and specifically in this case, starting strength coaches who are also PTs. I'm gonna list off a couple. I'm probably gonna forget some, so my apologies. We'll try to link their contact details below, but people like John Petrizzo, his wife Rori Alter, Will Morris, Darin Deaton, Nick D'Agostino, Chris Pallidino. We'll link to those people below. But if you need some help working through an injury, reach out to one of these people. They can absolutely help you in your situation. Again, keep it simple. The question is not, should I train? The question is, how can I train? As always, we hope this helps you get stronger and live better.